let's take a look at our top selections for the... Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at beautiful Belmont Park on Sunday is the Paradise Creek Stakes. 3-year-olds going 7/8 of a mile on the turf. Before we get to the analysis, head on over to drf.com/Memorial Day and learn more about our Memorial Day sale offer, where you can save up to 50% off select handicapping products. Here's the field for the Paradise Creek Stakes, and Wesley Ward certainly well represented. The 3 Out-of-Door is the 8-5 morning line favorite. The 6 Chasing Artie is 9-5 second choice, and an ex-Ward trainee, the number 2 Fauci, is the 4-1 third choice.
Yeah, there are 3 of them are major players in this race. Dan, you have a couple of horses, trying something different in here, switching over to turf for the first time, and those 2 horses, the 1 and the 5, they're both pretty good. We'll see how they handle the turf, but it does feel like the 2 Ward horses are definitely the 2 horses to beat in here.
And according to the Timeform US pace projector, those 2 dirt horses are expected to be up close, if not outright on the lead. The 1 Baron, the 5-3-2 zone. We'll see if that's the case. I would think the 3 Out-of-Door is going to be very aggressively ridden by Arad Ortiz.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he is. I mean, he doesn't need the lead, but he can certainly be forward in here. It'll also be interesting to see where the 6 Chasing Artie is, Dan. He's shown speed in the past. He didn't show any speed last time. So you don't know where he's going to be, but it seems like he can run from anywhere.
The number 1 Baron is a very underrated horse. He won the Gold Fever Stakes last time out on the dirt. Looking at his turf pedigree, his sire is only 1 for 63 with first-time turf runners, but you can at least be forgiving of that because this horse is going to be a price.
Right. He is going to be a price in this race. It does sort of feel like they're just taking a shot here. Maybe there wasn't anything else for them to run in, so they're going to take a shot here. He just doesn't really have a ton of turf pedigree, Dan. So to me, for me, he's hard to like in a race like this, but he is a good horse.
Number 2, Fauci, never been out of the exacta from 5 lifetime starts, 3 consecutive runner-up finishes, including a seasonal debut when he was the beaten favorite at Keeneland, beaten by Chasing Artie that day. Kind of mid-moved into a fast pace, but Chasing Artie had a lot more trouble than he did.
Well, Chasing Artie, didn't break well in that race and just sat last most of the way before he stormed down the stretch. Fauci, I don't know. He got himself into a pretty good position. I mean, I don't feel like you could give him a real excuse in there, Dan. He was bottled up a little bit in the upper stretch, but he got clear in time and he ran his race. He was only second best in there. That's could be the problem sometimes when you're trained by Wesley Ward, because you have to run against stablemates of yours who are a little better. Golden Pale, Out-of-Door, Chasing Artie. This horse, Fauci, I think has run well in all of his races. He's just found one better recently.
Out-of-Door, the number 3, a perfect 3 for 3 sprinting. Let's go back to his effort in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. They tried him a mile in this race in his 3rd lifetime start. Not surprisingly, he showed good early speed. I think the distance and perhaps the competition got to him at the very end. I'm guessing it was the distance. He made his seasonal debut on synthetic, and he kind of had to work to win that race, Mike. I wonder if he really handled that surface, because it looked like he won that race on class alone in a hard drive the last 5/16 or so.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, it was a different surface for him. He was off the layoff, and maybe he just wasn't fully cranked in there. But I agree with you. He wasn't that impressive winning at 4-5 last time. His turf form from last year is very good. And I just sort of feel like, Dan, the 7 furlongs of this race, it's a lot different than the 5.5, 6 furlong turf sprints. I feel like maybe that could be Out-of-Door's big advantage in this race. I mean, it just feels like he's going to get the distance. In a lot of ways, he's the horse to beat.
And Ward had entered this horse in the James Murphy, going 2 turns at Pimlico on Preakness Day, entered in the Penn Mile. I think he likes this horse going 7/8 of a mile as well. Thin White Duke is the number 4. Let's go back to Thin White Duke's most recent turf race over the summer at Saratoga against State-Bred Maidens. He showed very good speed in this race, and he's going to finish a nice second. I thought it was a good effort, even though he was beaten as the favorite. He bounced out of this race to win 2 stakes races on the main track, but his last 2 races, Mike, that early speed hasn't been there. Although in the New York Breeders' Futurity, it's hard to show speed when you miss the break by a million.
Yeah, he dwelt at the start too back. You can put a line through that race. And he just, for whatever reason, wasn't sharp off the layoff last time. Now, he was facing open company for the first time, and he didn't run well in that race. I guess that could be a concern. But this horse was pretty good at 2, Dan. He's a little underrated, I think. And even though he's 0 for 2 on turf, he ran really well in both of those races last year. His turf debut, he got very unlucky in the trip department and was certainly best that day, it felt like. And he ran well the last time we saw him on turf, too. This horse is okay.
Fair to say at the 5-3-2 zone was in just a little tough last time out in the grade 2 Pat Day Mile, his stakes debut. He's going to try turf for the first time. There's a little bit of turf on the bottom of this pedigree. His broodmare sire is Dan Silly. I wish there was a little more.
I feel like there's enough, Dan. You know, we'll see. We'll see about that. The dam didn't race. His second dam is a mare you might have heard of by the name of Islington. She was pretty good. She won the Breeders' Cup affiliate mare turf, a bunch of Group 1 races. This horse has turf pedigree, and he's not bad on the main track, Dan. He's got a little speed, too. I think this is an interesting horse at a price.
Chasing Artie, the number 6. Nice win last time out in the Palisades Turf Sprint. Just considered a 2-star back in a maiden special weight. Went gate to wire. Chasing Artie didn't break well in that Palisades Turf Sprint. It looked like he kind of bounced off the rail on the far turn while last, and then watch what happens. We turn into the stretch. Chasing Artie gets clearance under Joel Rosario, and he just runs down everybody. This is what's known as widest and fastest.
Yeah, he just storms down the outside here. He's got a lot of ground to cover here, Dan, and he's just going to erase this whole deficit. He's going to do it easily. That's Fauci getting through on the inside right now, and he's just going to run this horse right over in the stretch. You liked this horse this day. You were 100% right at a fair price, too. This horse has run really well in his only 2 turf starts. You know, it's a pretty difficult stretch out to go from 5.5 to 7, but I feel like if he handles it, he's going to be very tough in here.
I think the 2nd of July is a really interesting horse, despite the fact that he's making his seasonal debut. He's a horse that never gets bet, but he seems to run just about each and every time. His debut, he won at 68-1. He won the Grade 3 Futurity at 15-1. And then the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. That was a race where it was over a wet turf course, and he got some kitback, supposedly. I think Phil Gleaves might have this one sharp off the layoff.
Yeah, I think so too. And he is far from impossible in here. Probably does have to take a little bit of a step forward, but that's what he's supposed to do from 2 to 3. And he did run really well in his 2 turf starts last year, Dan. I mean, I don't think you would watch them and be blown away by his performance, but he definitely outran his odds, and he's very game in the stretch. This horse does not stop coming. I think he's pretty interested in here.
Top pick time for the Paradise Creek Stakes on Sunday at Belmont. Chasing Artie, Mike. Wow, that was a wild performance visually last time out, considering all the trouble he had at the start and then just being uncomfortable on the inside. He ran them all down, and he might run out a door down here. I just have a feeling that they might fall in love with that running style with Chasing Artie, and they might take him back. They certainly don't want to duel with Out a Door early. I think Out a Door gets the jump. Maybe he holds off Chasing Artie. Same exact, a different order for us.
Yeah, we're both sticking with the Ward horses here. That's an easy thing to do when you look at the way Ward's horses have been going at this Belmont meet so far. All they do is win. I'm going to take Chasing Artie. I thought maybe he'd be a little bit of a better price. I'm concerned about the distance, but I really wanted the 3 and the 6. I threw a little 5 in that.
Little 5, little Islington, little bit of turf pedigree, I guess. 6-3-5-2 for Mike, 3-6-2-4 for me in the Paradise Creek Stakes Sunday at Belmont. Good luck.